What's going on, people? You're watching Prophet Studio. I am Jeremiah, and today I have another tutorial within Maxon Cinema 4D here of how to create elements such as smoke and dust, debris from objects within your scene. Now, note if you're doing this within a 3D application like I am, Autodesk Maya, Cinema 4D, or 3ds Max, it will take a long time for you to render out an animation if you wanted to break apart a building and use this technique to create that dust debris. Um, I also know how to do this with a depth compositing mat and composite it with inside your compositing software, and you get the same exact effect. The only difference is you render that out and then do it inside your compositing software. You save time. Within here, you may get a whole lot more type of CGI look, but at the same time, it will take a long time for you to render this out. But I'm gonna just show you exactly what we're gonna be doing here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into it. Let's see. I'll move this out my way right fast. I'm gonna create a floor. I'm gonna go ahead and give my floor some type of material. So I'm gonna double click in this section right here. I'm gonna double click on my material editor. Turn on specular. Go to color, and I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that the way it is right now. I'm gonna go to luminance. I'm gonna check that on. I'm gonna turn my luminance down to about 30%. I'm gonna go to my reflections, turn that on. I'm gonna go to my brightness and turn that down to about 25. I'm gonna go to my texture. I'm gonna click on this little tab here. Go to Fresnel, and I'm gonna turn this down to 50. Alright, so we got our standard floor material. Drag that on to our floor. Next what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a cube. Now, for this tutorial, I will be using a third-party plugin, um, which is Drowsy. Let's see, where's it at? Go ahead and click on my cube. You don't necessarily need Drowsy if you already know how to shatter an object within Cinema 4D without third-party plugins. It's still like the same basic concept here. You just drag in your objects that you want to be shattered and affected. Here, let me just show you what I'm talking about. I got this drop the floor plugin. I'm gonna just drop that on my floor. It's looking pretty cool. Then I'm gonna go back to my plugins. I'm gonna go to Drowsy, and I'm gonna keep my dynamic tag set to immediately. Go back to my Drowsy. I'm gonna shatter this to about, let's just say 12. Matter of fact, 15 pieces for right now, tutorial purposes. I'm gonna click on this option here. I'm gonna shatter that up. It's gonna break it up for me. All right. Click out of that. Now what Drowsy do, Drowsy automatically create two separate materials for you. One for the inside of your object and one for the outside. I don't need these, so I'm gonna go ahead and just erase those. But if you want to keep them, that's fine. That's fine. But next what you want to do, you want to go ahead and go to your MoGraph tab. If you cannot see your MoGraph tab, you need to go to your layout, change it from startup to standard. All right. Next what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my MoGraph tracer. And with the tracer do, if you already have an object selected over here and you click on your tracer, it's going to try to put it inside your tracer link. We do not need that, so you can go to your tracer link and hit delete. Now what you want to do, with your tracer selected, you want to lock it, and you do that by pressing the like icon here. Now, since I'm using Drowsy, all the pieces that I wanted to be affected by the tracer, I'm going to drag into my tracer link. I have 15 pieces here, so I'm going to click on my first one, and press shift, click on these, and place that inside my tracer link. Go back to my tracer and make sure that you unlock it. If you do not unlock it, it will not work for you. Alright, now the next thing I want to do, I'm going to go to my Drowsy here, my dynamic tag for my Drowsy. I'm going to go to my dynamic tab here for my parameters, and you see where it says trigger, but underneath of that it says custom initial velocity. You want to check that and just mess around with these settings. Now, what these parameters are going to do for you is make your explosion explode inside a particular type of axis that you see fit, or like okay, like we have a X, we have a Y, we have a Z, and the parameter that is up the most is which is where your explosion is going to go ahead and explode at. I just like to mess around with it. And mine is exploding in this little way here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it right there. That's fine. Alright, and you can notice here, you see these little lines kind of following our objects here. And our objects is going through the floor because we didn't set our collider tag onto our floor. That's fine. So we go ahead and click on our floor, right click, simulation, collider body. And it should be right there now. But let's go ahead and click on our tracer so we can see this a little bit more. Tracer, let's go ahead and play this back. See these little white lines there? Kind of look like webs and whatnot. Well, essentially what we're going to try to do is turn those lines into thinking particles. And then the particles are going to be transformed into smoke elements. But I'm going to go ahead and just show you how to set up that. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and make my explosion a little bit more wider than what it's doing. It's kind of like a tight explosion right now. So I'm going to go to my back to my Throwsy dynamic tag here. And I'm not going to mess around with that anymore, these little parameters. So I'm going to go to my collision tag now. And I'm going to turn down my bounce to 0, and I'm going to turn up my friction to about, 70. And then you see this option here where it says size increment. You can crank that up, and that'll kind of get your explosion just a little bit more wider than what it's doing right there. Turn it up a little bit more. Yeah, it's looking cool. Look at that. Smoke debris elements about to happen all right there. So I'm gonna keep my camera angle right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and take it a step farther. Now I'm gonna go back to my mode graph. I'm gonna go to matrix. Now with your matrix, I'm gonna go down here to these parameters, and I'm gonna change my mode from grid array to object. And just like the tracer also have a link. The matrix also have an object link here. You wanna drag in your tracer to your object link. And we already see a different type of, look with that. They look like cubes or something like on that right now. And the reason why they look like cubes is because of the simple fact we kind of already had a cube to start with the Throwsy plugin. But what we're going to do, we're going to go back to our matrix here. We're going to go down to these parameters. We're going to turn matrix trees only inside the generate tab here to thinking particles. Alright, now we get these little dots. These dots represent the particles. And I'm going to go ahead and go down. We have a count section here. I'm going to turn that count down to about 7 for a faster render. And it's looking pretty cool. Go ahead and play that back. Yep, it's looking pretty cool. Now, next what we got to do, we got to give our particle geometry. So we can do that by going to our simulation tag. Our simulate tag here, thinking particle geometry. Alright, so we got the basic setup. And next, what I'm going to need you to do is to go to your render settings. You want to go ahead and just throw in ambient occlusion. If I can find it, there it is, ambient occlusion. That's looking pretty cool. I'm going to change my aspects here from 1280 to 1280 and 720. I'm going to click out of that. That's pretty much all we're going to need for that. And then next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a light. Alright. I'm going to my general tab under my light and turn shadow from none to shadow map soft. Now, if you try to render this out, you won't see anything because simply fact we haven't added in any type of particle shaders for it yet. But underneath your light, go to your shadow. You want to turn your resolution in X down to the lowest number possible because it will take a long time to render out. I think it's like 40. It's looking pretty cool. I'm gonna go back to my general tab here and just turn this down to about 90. Alright, next what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add in environment. So you can go ahead and just hold down on your environment tabs here, an environment, and now the final step is just to create our thinking particle shaders. So instead of double clicking, we're gonna go ahead and go to create. shader, power cluster, create, shader, power cluster volume tracer. You want to double click inside your power cluster volume tracer material editor. Move this out the way. You want to change your render mode from crispy to user. You want to change your world step size from 5 to about 15. The higher you go, the faster the render. And I'm telling you, like it kind of takes a while to render out. Like it took about a minute and 17 seconds for me to render out one frame. Just imagine if you have what 400 to 500 frames of an animation. It'll take a little while. Next, what you want to do, you want to go to your regular power cluster. You want to change your inside your global section here. You want to change your settings from user to smoke. You want to hit yes. You want to change your density down from 2 to 1. Then go to shadow. I like to turn my transparency from 10 to about 50%. That'll work out for me. Alright, and go back in here to where I find a spot at so I can show you all this. It's looking fine for right now. Then now, all we gotta do is just apply our shaders to our correct nodes inside our node editor here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drag in my power cluster, my regular one, to my particle geometry. And then I'm gonna drag on my power cluster volume tracer to my environment. Alright. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just render. I'm gonna go ahead and do like a preview render right now. It's gonna take a little minute, but try to hang in there with me. Look at that. We up to about 15 seconds right now on the render time. And you know, I also know how to do this technique inside compositing software. You get the same type of look. The only difference is the render time. It takes a whole lot, you know, less render time to do that inside your compositing software than opposed to do it in here. And you will still get that CGI type of look because of the simple fact we do got to create our animation inside our 3D applications here. We just got to render out a separate mask. And yeah. So as soon as this thing get finished, we up to a minute right now. Let's get in there. I may actually do another tutorial on doing this same type of effect within Autodesk Maya. Now Maya, if y'all have been with me for some time now, y'all know that I've been taking like an online class for Autodesk Maya with their dynamics, their smoke fluids and end particles and all that type of stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing a whole lot of tutorials showing how to do some more complex stuff within Autodesk Maya here. We up to about next to 2 minutes now with this render thing here, and that's just a frame. Lord. But let's get in there. Look at that. I also been taking classes, not classes. I also been taking online classes for compositing and digital map painting. So as soon as I go ahead and get a little bit more advanced with my digital map painting, we can go ahead and create some 3D set extensions and all that fun stuff. But the render just got complete. It took 2 minutes and 23 seconds to do that. 2 minutes and 25 seconds to do that. Like I said, it do take quite a while for this to actually, you know, happen. If you had like a bigger scene where a building was supposed to be hit by something and collide to another building, it'll take a minute. But that is one technique to create the dust, smoke, debris elements from objects inside your scene within Maxon Cinema 4D. Um, you know, I hope this helps y'all out a lot. I hope y'all learned something. If I talk too fast inside the tutorial, I'm sorry about that. But just comment below for any type of questions, for any type of tutorials. I am Jeremiah. Thank you.